What up, what up, what up? It is another episode of She Got the Juice. Man, it seems like it's been a long time since I didn't pulled up into this space. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far and appreciate the love. Don't forget this weekend, you can check me out tomorrow at Taste Houston. I'll be DJing the happy hour in Midtown, and I'll be at Dolce tomorrow night for open mic poetry. Then I'm chilling for the rest of the weekend because I got to go pick up Zoe from Prairie View. But anyway, we're going to get right into it. I'm excited. And you know that it is Black Music Month, which I never understood why they, like, who comes up with all these months or whatever. But anyway, I thought it would be very fun and a good conversation with somebody who I look up to kick off Black Music Month right here in H-Town. Y'all know him as the Don Key Hersheywood Hardhead, okay? Not only is he a legend here in Houston, but he is a legend around the whole world, okay? He reps H-Town wherever he goes. And of course, you see everybody biting the Southside dance and all that. So I'm excited to have my brother, my friend, somebody I look up to, Don Key, the Don Dada himself. Lil Keke is in the building.
What it do?
What's up, Key?
I'm loving it. I love it. I love everything you're doing. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
To be here too.
Man.
I look up to you too.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
Nah, it's love.
Because listen, let's get right into it. Every morning, okay, I've been trying not to pull up my social media so fast. But yo, when I do pull up my social media, I look for your posts.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have become so motivational.
Oh, that's,
Like, for real. Is that something that you plan on going into?
Well, everything is kind of, how we do in this type of day and age. We try to promote everything we do. But the real cause of it is, man, as I was young, so many people were intrigued and they followed me for everything I told them to do. Get your 5 women, drive these kind of cars, have this kind of money, sell this, sell that, and, do this. And people, they bought into it and they done it. And I led people in that way. So I was like, man, if I can get them to buy into that, maybe I can get them to inspire them a little bit, motivational, get some business, say something nice to this, do something for your family, take care of your kids, or just, a little motivational, watch out for this type of thing, and watch out for that. So as I began to spread it, I started using a hashtag of it called Legend Talk, and it kind of grew and people started looking forward to it. So I kind of transferred into, I got a book coming for it, and it's going to be called Legend Talk, and it's a motivational guide. It's a lot of things that people probably have heard before, you probably seen before. I just put it in my perspective from the hip hop community, the community that I grew up with, and try to give people a chance to understand.
Oh, Lord, get me through.
Yeah.
And your posts are so motivational. So, so let's get into some questions. I had some of my friends and some people, wanted to ask these questions. And do you think the Southside, did you ever think the Southside would be such a staple? Like, when you made that song, did you ever think that?
Not really, because I tell you this, people don't know that, man, like, we went to Screw House and we didn't go there. I tell people all the time, it's a gift and a curse. I didn't start with music. I've never done a demo. I've never done a talent show when we were young. So we didn't go into it from a professional standpoint. We went to Screw House actually having fun, and rapping about things that was around us, things that were happening, things that we had going on. And it kind of transformed into this. Like, I tell people that I was making so much money as a kid and a young and 17 and 18 and making these songs and these freestyles. I probably didn't start taking it from a professional aspect to about 28 or 30.
Yeah.
Really, the time had flew that fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause we actually went to Screwhouse for having fun. We paid to do those tapes. We wasn't going over there like, man, this is the next hit we're gonna make. Now, when I did make Pimp the Pen, the first Draped Up and Dripped Out, I started taking it a little bit more serious because I started to have a bigger fan base and all this. So when I first did Southside, truth be told, I was in a little trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was in a place where I wasn't supposed to be. And actually, we had a guy in there who was making a song and singing a song every day called Northside. So this side of the tank, we started to decide we're gonna make a song called Southside. And then when I got out and, you know, did a few months, I came home, I went to Screwhouse, I did a screw tape called Home Sweet Home. And I kind of redone the Southside and re-rapped it a different way. Then when I made my album, I kind of put the dance in it and made it, and it just took off.
Man.
And it took off, and the cool thing about it was it started taking off from a regional standpoint, the south side of this town and the south side of Atlanta and the south side over here. And it originally just started as me just talking about the south side. And truth be known, man, today it's bigger than it was when I was a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was young, it was times in my life I wanted to get rid of it. Like
really? Why?
Yeah, I was just tired of doing it, and it was just people just like this. Man, I used to try to do shows and don't do it no more and don't rap it no more, and people was like, I used to try to not have it on the show CD or the show that, and man, I used to walk.
Because you was just tired of it.
It was so much of what I was just known for, and I was so much more of a rapper than that. You know, my skills and what I felt like I had, I was just like, man, I'm much more than this Southside. They drive me crazy. Every deal that I got, every company that I signed to, every deal that I got to, one of the first things at the table was, man, you think we can redo that Southside again? That used to be the biggest thing. So then as I got older, when social media came back and the dance started picking up and people started using it for weddings and anniversaries and it started having challenges, it just took on a life of its own, and it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Then they started doing it for touchdown dances, and it's over here now, man. I do this.
Beyonce, I mean, once she did it, and of course, that's a wrap. I mean, once she does anything, and of course, we always see you with Beyonce, and do you think the H will ever dominate again? Because we have so much talent, and I think everybody come down here and they steal our steez, our whole flow, our style.
What I think, man, kind of puts us in a position. We're so self-made stars, and we're so independent, and we made such a run off of being independent in the early 90s. We made so much money off of it, and you know, like the average Texas star, man, when you think of a Lil Keke, Power Wow, Slim Thug, the average Texas star, they live so great on their own. Like, you know, you would think that these people have, you know, like we live in these big houses, drive these big cars, got these big investments, got these other businesses and other this. So I love that social media is helping the youngsters, like what Megan is doing right now, and giving these a new platform for us to take back over, because a lot of young people followed in our footsteps of trying to do it like us. Man, we want to sell 50,000 records and 100,000 records, and being a superstar in Houston was so much, man. People around here sometimes they work so hard to and they become a star in Houston, and it becomes enough for them. Man, you can walk in these clubs and you can walk in these bars, and this city's so big, and you're a star here. But I think, man, we're about to get another opportunity at, rebuilding the platform and getting bigger. But it's such an independent, self-made city, and nonchalant at a little bit of it. So
we are real nonchalant. Like we don't really care about the star status and all that kind of stuff.
And I tell people I'm a victim of it, because I go all across the world. My talent has took me everywhere. It took me to Japan. It's took me over here. It took me overseas.
And how has that been?
Crazy.
And people know all your stuff, huh?
Yes, word for word. They sing these songs. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So, but it's nowhere else that I feel better. I love being a star here, though.
Yeah.
I love being. This is the only place that my family and everybody get on me about. You need to stop. You need to take the security out. I'm like, man, I just like going out by myself, being a star, him being able to do what I want to do. So
'Cause it's home.
It's home. So it's crazy. So Southside did give me a life of his own.
Well, first of all, before I get into your top 5, your top 5, like what keeps you motivated? I know you like motivating other people, but what keeps you going?
That's part of why I do Legend Talk and why I do the motivation thing, because I'm a person that feed off of that kind of energy. When I see that I can motivate, some of the stuff that I'm actually saying, man, I'm actually telling it to myself. I have to convince myself to believe some of this stuff, and it actually helps me motivate myself. So when I see I motivated 50 people, 100, 2,000, and people with these comments and these DMs and people telling me they made it through life and this helped them graduate, that actually motivates me to see that does a lot for me. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, man, the inspiration of seeing people can come up. I'm the natural of never giving up. I'm a true testament, man. I don't give up. I got tough skin. I don't lay it down. So that's the stuff that motivates me, just being able to motivate and having the wherewithal to keep going.
Man, that's what's up. Because oftentimes, I know with me, I get inside of my own head. So what I have to do is like either walk around or go walking, or I listen to these books that motivate me. I can't listen to music because I'm in music all the time. So I'd be like, oh, well, let me see what can, whatever, that can take my mind off of music.
It's tough.
So I can motivate myself, because that's the hardest thing.
It is.
What do you think about this new wave of rap?
I don't think no different about it than what's happening. It just, rap transitions. It keep going. My thing is about it, what I tell people is, man, you just need to be able to transition with it. It all turns. Look at this, how I be looking at certain stuff. Look at everything that we wearing right now, Pumas and different shoes, how everything just comes back in a circle. Old school Air Force Ones, whatever it is, it just keeps coming back over and over. It's not really about, it's about you being prepared to adapt with it, because it's not going to stop changing. The game is going to keep on changing. Like, I've seen 4 or 5 changes with it throughout my career, and each one, like, I remember it's new little apps and stuff that people turning me on to right now that I feel like is going to be big. I'll share them with you in a minute. But I remember Instagram coming in and Facebook coming in, and I was like,
you remember MySpace?
Yeah, all this. I remember all of this, and I remember just being shoo-shooing it. Like, man, I'm so, I don't need this or such. And I had to grow with it. I had to, and most of the time, the artists and the people who don't grow and don't adapt to these, they get lost.
Yeah, they get lost. They get lost in the sauce.
Left behind. So now, hey man, I just try to grow with it. And I've been able to survive and really keep going based on, like I was telling a younger rapper today, Young Martez, I was telling him today, most rappers in the city, man, and young, I do music with them, I do verses for them. I kind of never, because I remember being young and kind of being shaded by the older artists, because we was freestyling and they didn't understand it and they didn't like it. And I remember that, and I always said, man, as I grow, how I'm gonna stay relevant. And relevancy is very important. How I'm gonna stay relevant. I'm gonna always embrace it. Now, a lot of it, I can't tell you that I listen to it, or I've heard everything, but I just embrace it.
Who are some of the newer rappers you listen to?
I love DJ Chose.
Oh, of course, I love DJ Chose. Norman.
That's my brother.
That's my little brother.
He's just talented.
Yes.
Me and DJ Chose sit on the phone for an hour.
Really?
I want to have at least once a month. We talk about everything, money, business. He called me, we transformed together. I love DJ Chose. I got a new younger artist that I'm working with. His name is Marcus Clay.
Okay.
And very extremely talented. And what
he sings, rap?
He rap. And what I'm trying to do with him, he's kind of on the J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar type of platform, and that's new for me, because most of the rappers and most rappers that came my way, they was either trying to do something similar to what I was doing or whatever. So the new rappers with the with the money to the ear and the cups out and the smoke and everything. I love it.
I mean, yeah, because I mean that's what
I'm from that life, but I
trip.
just decided to go a different way because I felt like that was crowded. That's crowded, and so I decided to go a different way, man. I want to do some Warehouse Live, House of Blues festivals, Toby. You know what I'm saying? I like all that.
Listen, Toby used to come to Poetry Lounge, and I remember him doing all of his stuff, just a cappella on open mic, you know, with 7. And just to see him evolve, like this new wave, he's putting Houston on the map.
But see, I also transferring back, and I love Megan.
And then Megan.
You know why I love Megan? Because it's that H-Town. It's H-Town.
Real H-Town. It's that it's that real Southside H-Town.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is I love all sides of, man, I like everything, man. I like what DJ EXO do, and I like, you know, B King got his lane over here, and you know what I'm saying? All these different, man.
So but why do you think though, I feel like, so why do you feel like everybody has to leave outside the city to quote unquote make it big or whatever? Why is that stigma on us? You know what I'm saying? I think what we do, we put so much into that a thought process, and I don't actually think it's like that because we glorify other cities as far as thinking that they doing so much different, and they got the same problems we got. You know what their problem is? Their problem is they don't show it, and we do. That's what I was getting ready to say. And they go put up a united front.
Yeah, they might not be
no
friends.
matter what.
Yeah, they gotta unite. And you know, it's just from an old saying is, I'm ready to praise you and tell you that you're doing good as long as I'm doing the same, or as long as I'm doing better. That's a bad thing that we probably have to get out of, man. And you know, some people bring it on friendly competition or whatever, but most of the time, man, it's a thing where I'm ready to let you shine as long as I'm shining. You know what I'm saying? So that and we
Why
just
is that, you think?
It's just because it's always been it goes back to the self-made thing. It's a gift and a curse. We so self-made to sometimes it ends up to every man for himself. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that if we stop and if we put up the same united front and we share the same thing, like you're not gonna go to bed or be friends or be in the same space with everybody every day, but working with them and helping posting and helping praising, that'll do a lot for that.
Man, that's what's up. Okay, so who are your top 5? Well, not top 5 rappers that you listen to, but give me your top 5 that you looked up to growing up, getting into the game.
I'm an old cat. I'm an OG.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know. Like, it could be rap or, you know, tomorrow. Like, what are we celebrating with Prince tomorrow? I kind of think. But it can be any type of music. Like, I want to know since this is Music Month.
I studied movements.
Okay.
When I was young. See, I'm from the Run DMC era where if you could sing that Peter Piper, Pick Pepper, run, this was major. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could come to school and actually rap that rap, this was serious. Like, this my Adidas, all this here. So I'm from the Fat Boys, Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, because that was the first era of rap music to me, New York rap, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, I tell a funny story to people all the time, like, I had a next door neighbor when I was young, he tricked me to believe that he wrote the Sugar Hill guy, right? So, man, this was I was like 9 or 10, I was just so amazed, I just couldn't. This was the hardest thing I had ever heard in my life. And then when I was about 10, by 11 or 12, I heard them, right? And I was like, man, I can't believe you did me like that, man. So, because I was big on the New York rap, Run DMC, Fat Boys, LL Cool J, like singing I Need Love and all that. This was real big. See, I was from eras. Then, all of a sudden, I switched over to the California rap. As far as like
NWA,
like NWA, Eazy-E, this was the cursing era. See, this was the hiding the tape. My mama can't see I'm hearing it.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we cussing. Man, we
I
cussing.
wasn't supposed to listen. You know what? I bought my first bootleg tape
Man,
at Timmy
can't tell
Chan's
me.
right there on Cullen.
You can't tell me nothing.
NWA.
I was singing Easy. We was cussing. You know what I'm saying? Like
For real cussing.
Cause you know, like Run DMC, my Adidas, you could still kind of jam that. It had a little profanity,
was
but it was
hard.
good. But when Easy E and them came out, you know, you turning radios down, you acting like you
can't
ain't listening.
listen to
You know what I'm
nothing.
saying? And we cussing now.
Turn that radio
That's why I tell
down.
people, baby, we
Turn that
cussing.
radio
We ain't
down.
cursing. Ain't no cursing. We cussing. You know what I'm saying? So I was into eras of rap, so it wasn't so much about my favorites. I always been into movements. And then when Dr. Dre came with the Chronic, that was the smoking and riding era. And around that time, that's when we started kind of cranking up at Screwhouse. And I remember it's a point of time where I didn't know anything that was on the radio. Everything that I heard was from Screw. You know, Sebo and these different type of rappers, Screw Love, everything. Big Papa, the Tupac era, all this here. Tupac versus Biggie, and Biggie being a great MC and Tupac being a this time. Every single thing that we heard it from this era. It had came a time in my life where I didn't hear anything fast. You know what I'm saying? I heard it all slow.
Do you think if Screw was still here, what would the state of Screw music be like right now? Or where do you think Houston would be?
I think, man, like, the biggest thing what people don't understand about before Screw died, he died before the CD era hit. So I think Screw would be big as life because his sound, he would have got an opportunity to master his craft as the game was changing. That's what I tell people about Michael Watts and all this different thing. And then, you know, people, Screw is the king to me because he's the first of his era. He dominated at his time. But I respect the craft of Michael Watts.
Yeah.
Like Michael Watts was the first person that I went into the studio that made the sound bigger. He was from the CD era of it. He was slowing down records, but it was in the era of time. CD, chopping it, putting it in the car. We wasn't listening to tapes no more. So I think that Screw would have been just as big or bigger because he would have been around the game and had to change with it. I don't think people, you know, like, at first, I'm telling you, Screw was in his mind, wasn't going to never transfer him over to the radio side. He felt like he didn't need him. But as time grew, I felt like he would have. So I think, man, if Screw would have been alive, he would have had an opportunity. Look at all the people who put these different slow down things in their records now, and these different type of sounds.
Yes.
I think he'd have been more in control of that. You know what I'm saying? He'd have got an opportunity because people gravitated to Screw, and Screw is a visionary. And what I mean by that, he wasn't scared of his sound. Like Screw wasn't scared to stand on his own. If he felt like, man, Screw was moving, man, 1,000 tapes at this kind of time at $10 a. You know, Screw was and the people don't know he's well conservative too. He don't spend a lot of money, so he was with it. So I think he would have been just as known or just as big as Watts became.
Yeah, I think even bigger because he is the king of it.
Let me tell you something. It's certain people that found out about Screw based on what Watts was doing. It was people who heard Michael Watts who knew nothing of Screw. But then when they heard Michael Watts, they got the story of where it came from. So imagine if some of these people would have met Screw. And then that's another thing. We don't know if any of these other people would have became who they would have became if Screw would have still been alive, because Screw would have been the master of what he do.
Man, we gotta, before we wrap up, because this is like a part 2, because we can go on and on. Let everybody know what you have coming up. I know you mentioned a book, but let everybody know what can we expect, what you got coming up. I know 713 Day is up around the corner.
713 Day is coming. That's July 13th. That's my proclamation day in the city. 713. That's my proclamation day in the city. And what I decided to do this particular year was every year I bring out the Houston All-Stars, the best, not to say the best, but just some of the most talented and the most known in the city. We do a big concert block party, and people get to see a lot of Houston talent. Well, this particular year I decided to change it up and do a dedication to the DJs. And I'm just gonna bring out some of the hottest DJs in the city and let them do their own Houston sets. I'm gonna perform with a live band. I invited out my sister. And you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna do it that particular way because I always I always make it about, you know, the rappers and the band. You know, it'd be me and Slim and Power Wow.
Man,
Zero
it's
Hours.
huge. We go every year.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
I wanted to wear my shirt, but I didn't wear it so much.
Oh, but
and
I got
washed
new
it.
ones. I got new
713.
713 shirts.
Oh,
everything
man.
on the way.
You know what? Everywhere, I think I wore that shirt out.
That's big.
And I would wear it to California, and you know, they're the only state, that I've seen that still got 7-Elevens.
Well, they
so
still
when
got
I wear the
them around.
7-Eleven, when I wear that, they be like,
hey man, listen, so many people have tried to copy me with this shirt, tried to re-do it, but that's one of my biggest sellers on my website.
Yeah.
It does well. It's one of my greatest ones. It's one of the best ones I've done, but I have new ones. I'm reinventing the brand. The Self-Made 713 brand is coming back out for 713 Day. I actually do a album every year on 713 Day. 2 years ago, I did the 20th anniversary of the Don't Mess with Texas, my biggest album.
Oh,
that was a block party. It was great. You know what I'm saying? The next year, I came with Self-Made 1 and Self-Made 2, and last year, Self-Made 2 was the combining of the OGs with the young Gs. When we was having all those problems in the city, man, with how the OGs felt and how the youngsters felt, I decided to do an album, Self-Made 2, and I had Bun and Slim, Big Crit, all these different type of OGs, and then on the same album I had Chose, Chucky Trio, DJ EXO,
like
Hot Boy, Hot Boy Skeeter and Cal Wayne. I put them all on that album.
Wayne.
Well, this particular year, I'm doing Self-Made 3, and I'm bringing the focus to a young artist that I'm bringing up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying, to get the shine. It's gonna be Marcus Clay. He's done work with Master P, Nipsey Hussle. Different people know him. He's young. He's 19. He's extremely talented.
Man, well, I can't wait to see that.
So what I did with Self-Made 3 was took some of his songs, some of his biggest songs that we doing. We shot the video for his first single 2 days ago. It's called Quality Over Quantity.
But look, before you get into that, because she's telling me we got to cut it on time, we go catch the rest on Instagram Live at I Am DJ Supastar. And we gonna have Keke come back probably right before 713.
Let's do that.
Day. I think that'll be dope. And then we could talk about all of that and bring somebody in. But I appreciate you coming.
I thank y'all
today,
for having
man.
me. It's an honor.
It's an honor.
Keep going, baby. Let's go.
Thank ya.